Welcome back to the National Defense. It's Randy Miller. And you've seen this guy just about everywhere. Kelly Clarkson named him America's top psychic medium. And Matt Fraser is with us. Matt, how are you?
Good. It's great to be here with you.
Hey, so tell me about your military family.
So my dad actually was 21 years in the Navy.
Oh,
and
wow.
I grew up going to city, visiting my dad. And, you know, it was an amazing time, but it was also a hard time because being a little kid, I had no idea how important my dad's job was. I didn't realize why my dad wasn't spending holidays with us and wasn't there for certain birthdays or wasn't there for certain events. And it was really difficult because as this was all going on, I also was different than other kids. I was seeing and hearing people who had died from a young age. I was like that little boy from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Well, we used to have, do you know John Edward?
Yes.
So when I did a crazy morning show for a number of years, we used to have John Edward on all the time. And I will tell you, it freaks a lot of people out. I mean, you know, how specific that you guys can be and what you're seeing and what you're hearing. There was an incident one time when we had him on with a caller, and he was talking about, he was communicating with her brother who had passed, and he said, "Do you have a can of ragu on the stove right now?" And she just burst into tears because she did.
It's amazing. You know, I love those types of stories because our loved ones in spirit want one thing. They want to prove to us that they're really there and with us. And even before you come to see a psychic medium like myself or any medium, they're already trying to get in touch with you. They're trying to send dreams to you to show you that they're there and that they're with you. You know, the other ways that they come through is sending you specific signs like dragonflies, butterflies, repeating numbers, songs. And sometimes you might even feel their presence. For example, you might feel like you're not alone in the room or someone's watching you. And that's also a sign from a loved one in spirit as well.
And we're talking to Matt Fraser here on the National Defense. And, you know, that's especially peaceful to people that you were talking about, our audience of active duty military veterans and their families, because, you know, you lose a combat buddy. And a lot of times you have that remorse, right? The survivor's remorse. And you always wonder about them. And so I'm sure you've talked to a number of service people, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what's so amazing is that I think that we all have the same questions. And that same question is are my loved ones watching over me? Are they there? What's the meaning of my life? Why am I here on earth? You know, and that's one of the things that I use my gift for. I use my gift to really help people to understand the questions that they don't have the answer to.
Yeah, and this is going to be great. You're going to be on tour, or I guess you are on tour right now in a number of cities that we're heard in, Los Angeles, in Missouri, some of those big markets that you're going to appear in. And that has to be a phenomenal experience for people to see you live, huh, Matt?
You know, it really is, because it's so much more than just a live show. It's literally a family reunion with heaven, and that's where the healing takes place. You know, when people come to see a medium like myself, they come with questions in their heart. You know, some people want to know, how did my loved one die? They didn't get closure. They have no idea. They just found their loved one departed. Some people may have been estranged from a certain loved one, whether it be a brother, a sister, a mom, or a dad. Some people have lost children. Some people lost husbands. So what's so amazing is that during this event, it's all about the messages and learning. It's all about helping people reconnect with their loved ones in spirit, finding that closure, but also finding answers about their life and finding answers that are going to help them to heal. Because when you lose a loved one, no matter when they pass away, it's the hardest thing that you can ever go through. Yeah. And grief creeps up on you. You might think that you're doing fine, and then out of the blue, it all just hits you. And what I'm really there to show people is that there is life after death, and your loved ones are always with you.
Oh, man, that's so good. We're talking to Matt Fraser here on the National Defense, and he's also got an upcoming book, Don't Wait Till You're Dead, Spirit's Advice from the Afterlife, which is available for a pre-order right now. And you're exactly right, Matt. My mom passed, it'll be 3 years ago in November, and it just seems like yesterday. And boy, to get a message from her, or just to know that everything is fine. I mean, I do feel her with me so many points in the day. She had such a unique personality, but man, that would sure give a lot of people some peace.
Well, that's what what I'm hoping, because the thing is that I also want people to know that when they come to an event or they come to a reading and they see how it all works, that this isn't a conversation that just stays with me. It's also a conversation with you. You can reach your loved ones at any time, meaning that they're already trying to get in touch with you with the signs that they send and little hints to show you that they're around. And knowing that is what changes your life, because when you lose somebody, you feel all alone until you realize one thing, until you realize that there's still a way to make contact with them on the other side of life. And that's what I really want to prove to people.
So when did you know that you had this ability?
So it started when I was really young. But at first, what's so amazing is that I didn't realize I was actually psychic. So what I mean by that is I grew up like that little boy from The Sixth Sense. I would see, hear, and feel the departed, especially when I was alone. I was playing by myself in my playroom, or when I was trying to go to bed at night, souls would just come in and try to talk to me. But being so young, I didn't realize what it was that I was seeing and hearing. I mistook it. I thought that the house was haunted or where I was going was haunted. I didn't realize that this was something that only I could see and sense and feel. And I didn't realize it was because I had a gift that I could use to communicate with them. And it took me years to discover that. And it also took me years to realize that these were souls that wanted one thing, to reach their friends and family. And I could be that conduit. I could be that person that could help them do that. And the moment that I started actually listening to the souls and listening to the messages, it changed my life and it changed those around me as well.
Yeah, because I mean, you had to think for a while, what's wrong with me? Why am I getting these messages? What's going on, right?
Well, yeah, I thought it was the places I was visiting. I was just, I was just convinced that, and I remember asking my mom when I was a little kid, when we would go to a new place, I'm like, I'm afraid to go. What if they have ghosts? What if they have ghosts? Because I was thinking that certain places was haunted. I didn't realize that, this was just another lens. It was just a filter that I was seeing.
Well, I'm surprised you don't have a message from my mom yet, because she used to love to just butt in and interrupt my interviews. So she must be doing.
Oh, no, she's definitely here. I will tell you, your mom is definitely here. When I'm connecting with her, this was a woman who had suffered here in the physical world. But I also keep hearing when I'm connecting that there were some things that she kept hidden about her sickness or her illness. So did you not know how sick she actually was or what was actually happening with her?
Well, we knew that she was sick for a while, but yeah, it was later in life for sure.
She's bringing that through, and also when I'm connecting, I don't know if she told you about this, but when I'm connecting with her, I also see a baby that's here that passed as well, a soul that didn't make it. So did somebody have a miscarriage or didn't get to have the child here in the physical?
She did. Yeah.
That soul is there and with her, because she just said to me, tell my son that this child is here. And I just saw this little baby within her arms, letting you know that she made it to the other side and that soul is with her. She's also saying happy birthday. Whose birthday is it?
Let's see. No birthdays in the family that I can think of. I've got one coming up in October.
It had to be that it had to be that it either just happened or that it's coming right up, because you kept saying happy birthday when I'm connecting. And also, the one thing that she's thanking you for is for the way that you stepped forward to help her before her passing. She's actually telling me when I'm connecting with her, this was a really tough illness that she went through. Yeah. So much to the point where she shows me that it started to affect her lungs and being able to breathe here in this world.
Wow, that absolutely 1,000% on that.
Actually,
yeah.
Because souls will go through and show me certain things, and I just saw it. It's almost like she was going into a coma at the end. She talks about not being able to speak or communicate clearly. And she says to me that the one thing that she was so happy about before she left this world was that she got to say everything that she wanted before she died. Meaning that she got to tell you how much she loved you, cared about you, and the family. I also have one other thing that I can tell you as well. I keep hearing the name Barbara. Who's Barbara?
Barbara. I'm not sure who Barbara is.
This would be with your mom, so I'm not sure if that's a friend of hers that had departed, or it had to be someone that she was close to, because I keep hearing that name being spoken to me.
Yeah, I got to research that. And that's the other thing, Matt, that I know that you do, that you provide information that people don't get right away, but then they research and they're like, oh yeah, that's right, there was a Barbara.
Well, yeah, what happens is that the souls on the other side, they see yesterday like it was like it was just a few moments ago. So it's very easy for souls to recall things that happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, and we're like, wait a minute, I have to go back through the archives and figure it out.
Right.
Because in heaven, there's ultimate knowledge, meaning that our loved ones in spirit know all, see all, and they can remember so much of their lives.
Well, Matt, what is the best place for people to find out where you're appearing and where to see you?
So the best place where people can see me is on my website, meetmattfraser.com. Meetmattfraser.com, because on there, you'll find all of my events, tour schedule, online readings, and my new book, Don't Wait Till You're Dead.
Matt, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for the work you're doing and for giving peace to so many people.
Well, thank you so much for having me on.
We'll be right back here on the National Defense.